Well, good evening. Welcome to Grover Hill Zion United Methodist Church, Thursday evening devotions from the kitchen table. Tonight I just have a short devotion I'd like to share with you. I came across it years ago, and I thought I'd just pull it out and share it with you again tonight. Really, it comes from Matthew chapter 5, verses 17 through 20. And let me just read that to you. Jesus said, "Do not think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them. I tell you the truth, until heaven and earth disappear, not the smallest letter, not the least stroke of a pen will by any means disappear from the law until everything is accomplished. Anyone who breaks one of the least of these commandments and teaches others to do the same thing will be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever practices and teaches these commands will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. For I tell you that unless your righteousness surpasses that of the Pharisees and the teachers of the law, you will certainly not enter the kingdom of heaven." Jesus was telling the Pharisees back then, they thought, and others who believed in him, they thought that he came to abolish the law. He did not. And he tells us again in chapter 5, or chapter 12, verse 30 again. He says that whoever is not with me is against me. And I just said all that to say, as I got to thinking about changing the law, and Jesus said, "No, you can't change the law. It doesn't work that way." You know, I used to work some time ago for a man who had a selective memory. You ever encountered folks like that? He remembered only what he wanted to remember. You know, and sometimes I catch myself doing that very same thing, especially in my relationship with Christ. I pick out Jesus' teachings that I like to follow, the commandments when convenient, and I ignore anything in the scriptures that crimps my lifestyle. I tell the story of the Good Samaritan, but I avoid the lesson that it teaches. I'm indifferent to turning the other cheek, the golden rule, and forgiveness. On the other hand, I do easier things like saying grace before a meal, telling my children to go to church, and giving them some money. Now, I don't have children, but you get the idea. Since no one can be expected to live out all of God's rules, I figure I'm better off picking and choosing, which is what Jesus is saying about the law. Or at least so I thought I was better off picking and choosing. And then one day I got to thinking about today's reading from Matthew's Gospel. Jesus doesn't ask for selective memory or half-hearted acts. To say I'm a Christian, that I've found the way but not fully committed, is hypocrisy. For me, it's a decision time. I either go forward or I turn away. I choose to go forward, even if doing so means sacrifice, self-denial, and perhaps ridicule. Being a Christian means risking these things. Doesn't that, reading that chapter 5, verses 17 through 20, and then listening to this, doesn't that give you cause for pause to reflect on our walk with Christ, or your walk with Christ? It does me. I hope that you find that helpful. Have a great and blessed week. Beautiful, beautiful day, isn't it?